want to go over a couple of things that I use for my mustache and used to use when I had a beard, but I still use within my mustache, just less amounts and kind of different. So I use oils at night when I strip my wax out, or on days when I'm rocking, like today, a unwaxed, more natural style mustache. And so every brand has different scent profiles and different carrier oils that they use in them. So you have to kind of find the scent profile that you like, and possibly goes with some of the other things that you want, if you want to kind of keep scents in that same family that you're wearing, but also different oils that they use, right? So from jojoba oil to almond oil, castor oil, they all use different, argan oil. They all have different versions that they use in different amounts. So what works on one person's skin and hair might not work on yours. So, I'm always just I put a couple drops up above, and it kind of runs down the skin. And then I can use the pads of my finger to try and get between the hairs and down to the skin to really moisturize the skin beneath the hairs. So use that in the mornings or in the evenings when I'm not wearing wax, because these will break down the wax. The next thing are balms. Now, balms have different variations of wax in them. So I have 3 versions that I kind of use, and they all kind of have different variations. So the Night Owl from Death Grip, the citrus version, super citrusy, uplifting, but very, very soft. Like I can just push right into it, right? So I would say it probably has very little wax in there, so you're not getting any hold. More of just moisturizing. So that's probably the softest of the balms. I have Downshift from Beard Octane, and that one much firmer to get anything out of, but no real stick to it, right? So the wax really, again, I would say very probably little wax, because you're not getting any stick. I like this one in the evenings. It's the Downshift is for me, is a very soothing scent. It's like oatmeal, milk, and honey. It's a very soothing scent for me, and so I like that in the evenings. I have this in oil, same scent profile in oil and in butter, which I'll talk about next. And then the Beard brand, I have it in Old Money, which to me has like a vintage leather, maybe some kind of woodsy smell to it. Is softer than the Beard Octane version, harder than the Night Owl version, but I think it has more wax, because it has a little stick to it, right? I can even get, if I put enough in it, in the handlebars, I can actually get that handlebars to hold together, right? So there we go. There versus, right? So just that little bit on the end gave me some hold. The other two don't do that. So this is the only one that I could use that would give me a little bit of hold. So now with these, I would say you use these after oil, right? Because these do have wax in there, and once you put something with wax in there, the oil is just going to soften up the wax, but also oil's not going to penetrate through the wax, right? So you want the oil on first, so that you put something with wax on afterwards. It'll lock in any moisture that you've put in. But also you want the moisture to get in there, so you want to put it on, you want to put the oils on first before the balms. But again, kind of like the oils, you need to find a balm that does what you want it to do, right? They all do something a little bit different with their mixtures that they have. And so find one that works for you and the hold that you want or the moisturizing that you want. And then the last that I use are butters, and I have two versions here. One from Detroit Grooming. I love this scent. This one's orange and lavender. And so it has citrusy, but I mean, it's very light on the orange, and then you can smell some lavender. And so this is what I would consider like a heavy butter, where it's heavy butter slash almost like a light balm. And I'll bring the other, I'll bring my Night Owl over because that's the softest. So you can see much shinier, so much more oils in this. But again, and this is softer than any of the balms. But this does have some wax in it. So you have like a heavy butter, what I would consider a heavy butter. And then you have, Downshift has a whipped butter, where this one on the ingredient list, no wax, right? So for evenings, if I've stripped out all the waxes, I'm getting ready for bed or whatever, a whipped butter is what I like. Something that has no waxes in there, so that, while I'm sleeping or whatnot, it's just going to absorb into and rehydrate my mustache. So if I take a shower at night, I wash up, clean up, I'll put some oil on first, just to hit the skin, and then I'll put like a whipped butter in my mustache. If I want to get a little more like locking some moisture in, then something with a light wax is fine, right? So it's still hydrate, and then it has a light wax, and then that's fine. During the days, mostly natural mustache balms. And then if I'm not using wax, oil. Now, if I'm using wax, then I wash and dry my beard or my mustache, and I put nothing else in there. And then I go straight to wax. The other thing that I'll talk about is, like, I haven't worn wax in a couple days, probably 3 or 4 days. And I typically wear wax all the time. But you have to give your mustache a break. You can't put wax in it every day and expect it to be the healthiest that your mustache has the potential to be, right? I've noticed that just in the last couple days that my mustache feels probably the softest that it's felt in a while, and I have pretty coarse mustache hair. It almost feels softer than my head hair at this point. Before then, because I've been doing wax pretty much every day because I prefer a styled look, it just felt very coarse, right? So I think over the last couple of days, with allowing it to absorb some hydration through oils and butters and balms instead of straight wax, that it's kind of nourished up. Now tomorrow, I have church and I'll dress in a suit, and so I will style my stash, so I'll have wax in there tomorrow. So if you guys have questions or thoughts, let me know, hit me up. Always willing to answer them. I am an affiliate of Death Grip, so I do have a code for 20% off. It's Jumpmaster20. But they're not the only product I use. I use other products. I find products that work for me, and I go through and test other stuff out. So let me know if you have any questions.